Good evening. Welcome to a Musings Supplemental. Haven't done one of these in like a week or something. January 27th, 2021. So what's in the news today? The Hall of Fame didn't elect anybody. First time in like 8 or 9 years or something of that nature. But it just kind of stuck in my craw a little bit. The practice of sports writers, many of whom have never thrown a baseball, they've never hit a baseball unless it was in slow pitch or on a tee when they were a kid, are judging whether someone is Hall of Fame worthy or not. And the idea really isn't whether Curt Schilling is a good guy. That's debatable. And I don't actually care. As far as the merits of his candidacy, many of the voters have already said it's based on the things he's done since he's been out of the game. He had a bankruptcy, was sued, things of that nature. He says things of a right-wing nature. He's kind of a nut. Okay. Not the first one, and many of them are in the Hall. His candidacy, in reality, when played between the lines, he was a marginal Hall of Fame player as a pitcher. I think you can make the leap that if Mike Messina got in, that he should. Okay, so postseason counts. What's troubling me is that people that really are no more moral than Curt Schilling. Many less moral. Okay? Are judging a man's candidacy for the Hall of Fame because they don't like him. Okay? This is a problem. So let me go back a little bit into history. Shoeless Joe Jackson. Okay? Black Sox scandal of 1919. Shoeless Joe himself was exonerated as having no part in the throwing of the 1919 World Series. He never got into the Hall of Fame. They need to right that wrong. He's a career .351 hitter, if I recall correctly. I didn't go to my to an abstract and take a look at it. He was one of the best hitters of all time. Okay? Not in the Hall. Pete Rose. Never bet against his team. I'm going to say that again. He never bet against his team. He never threw a game. He bet on his team. Put his money where his mouth was. So when he was a player, one of the best ever. He's the hit king. Hustled his butt off. Blue-collar people that were fans of his, they loved him for that. Right? Bart Giamatti, bless his soul, had to ban him because, we don't like gambling. Okay? Well, it's interesting. He never bet against his team, number one. Number two, has anybody noticed that Major League Baseball is in bed with betting companies now? Pete Rose is still banned from baseball. It's a crock of crap, quite frankly. Those are two really big reasons why sports writers should not be electing people to the Hall of Fame. Particularly based on, they can be voting for it. Don't take me out of context there. But not based on what they like or what they perceive to be not in the correct orthodoxy of thought. Okay? When I paid a ticket, when I plucked down a ticket to watch Cal Ripken Jr. as a kid, I did it because I liked him, because I'm a fan, but also because he was good. He was a good player. At the end of the day, it's production. There are a lot of really good players who hit 200. I mean, there's a lot of good people that hit 200. Being A good dude doesn't put you in the Hall of Fame. And being a bad dude shouldn't keep you out of it. As long as what you did not change the integrity of the game. As long as the integrity of the game was not changed, that shouldn't happen. So here's what I think. Because I think Bonds and Clemens should be out. They shouldn't even be on the ballot. Because here's what I think. They did change the integrity of the game. All the steroid people did. Okay? Here's what I think. Hall of Fame should say, you know what? We're going to create the ballot. We'll take on whether someone is of good moral standing. We will take that on, and we will have defined metrics to do so. Okay? You balloters, you will only vote based on their on-field acumen. And basically speaking, that's to say, generally speaking, it's agreed, were you one of the dominant players of your era? You don't say a 1960s player has to compare to somebody in the 1990s, because the offenses were different, the defenses were different. They lowered the mound between 1968 and 1969. Right? So what we really should be doing is get the writers, many of whom, a few of them are very good, like Kirchin, okay, and Stark in Philadelphia. But most of them, they're bastards themselves. They're not very good people. Defenders of pedophiles, all kinds of stuff. The Shaughnessy guy, take a look at him. He's had a vote for decades. He's a piece of chicken fried crap. I'm a little exercised. This is one of my favorite sports, and I'm watching it be destroyed by this kind of stuff. I don't like it. So I think the Hall of Fame should take on the vetting of whether people are of sufficient moral character. And the moral character thing should be, did they destroy the truth of the game? Did they make the game? Did they cheat the game? Not were they bad people. Ty Cobb's in the Hall of Fame. He went spikes up every damn time into second base. All kinds of people. There were guys throwing spitballs. They're in the Hall of Fame. It's not a popularity contest. Go back to high school and run for student council if that's so damn important to you. Okay? This is about, were you a good player? And did you cheat? Did you cheat the game, the integrity of the game at the time? If you didn't, you're moral. You're moral. And then you go on the ballot, and you are not permitted to even consider those issues. And if you do, and you're seen to have admitted it after the fact, you lose your ballot. Forever. You are no longer a balloteer. Put some teeth in that. Okay? I'm sick and tired of watching this. It's happening all the time. So it's a bunch of crap. So to me, and I saw Kirchin agree with me already on a podcast this morning or late morning. And I said it before that. I can document that. But it's not my idea. Really good baseball minds are agreeing with this. You need to get the writers out of the moral hazard business and only into was he a dominant player in his era? That's it. Before they ruin the sport. So I said my piece. All right. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, hit yes, and then share, because sharing is caring. Catch you later, guys. See ya.